So today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some basketball cards that I believe should be sold as soon as you can. Now, before we get into that, I did want to say this week's giveaway is a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander Prism Silver in a PSA 9. It is a $100 card. If you guys want to enter for free, all you have to do is subscribe, like this video, follow me on Instagram at itskanalahuja, comment the word done, and the winner will be announced on my Instagram at itskanalahuja. So follow those 3 easy steps for a free chance at $100, a $100 card. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into this video. So the first card that I believe, or the first player that I believe should be sold is going to be Chet Holmgren. Now, of course, Chet Holmgren, he was injured last season, so he's getting a lot of hype this season because it's technically like his rookie season almost. It's his first time we're really getting to see him play. Of course, he's playing alongside an exciting young Thunder team. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, Jalen Williams, a lot of young studs on that team. So a lot of you guys might be asking, why would you believe now is the time to sell? Simply, he is very hyped. His prices are starting off at a very, very high number. And I believe coming into the league, he's going to be the third option on the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I believe, for a player's card prices to really excel and exceed expectations, they have to be putting up numbers. They can't simply be on a, rising team or, for example, a playoff team. They have to really be putting up numbers. And I personally don't believe that Chet is going to be able to put those numbers up in his rookie season, and given his hype is so high, unless he puts up those numbers, I see his prices really cooling off. For example, his blue prism came out at $1,800. It's currently down to about $800, and I believe that this trend will continue for the next couple months. And if he does have really bottom out, I believe there could be a good buying opportunity, but right now, I just would not feel comfortable in Chet Holmgren's card market. I just think there's way too much hype. Of course, we saw his Prism Gold sell for over $8,000 in a PSA 8, and $24,000 in a PSA 10. So his prices are just coming out a little bit too hot for me, and I think it's a good time to be selling off his cards, raking in that money, and kind of moving it to more safer players. And next up, we're going to go with someone who's kind of in that same boat for me. That is going to be Paolo Banchero. Now, of course, Paolo is someone I personally really believe in for the long term, but of course, given his prices kind of recently released, his cards are sitting very high. His blue prism in a PSA 10 is around a $1,500 card. It's holding up a little bit better than Chet Holmgren's cards, but at the same time, Paolo plays for the Orlando Magic, and they are not really, the team to be betting on this season, in my opinion. I think, the Magic are going to have a similar season to last season, kind of like bottom of the East vibes, not really a team that is worth, getting very excited about, and that's why I believe Paolo's market is going to continue to decline. I do believe he could have a good buying opportunity for the long term, but I believe his card prices are going to cool off a lot before they start to go back up again, if he does play well in the long term. But I would definitely personally sell off right now, given his hype is up there right now. His cards are pretty recently released, so a lot more are hitting the market, so I would overall sell his cards. Now, without further ado, we're going to hop right into the next pick, and that is going to be Victor Wembanyama. Now, Victor Wembanyama's cards, of course, are just sitting way too high for my liking. And I think Victor Wembanyama, his cards have, of course, a tremendous amount of opportunity for the long term. But as you guys can see, by a nearly 50% decline in the last 90 days, his prices were just way too overhyped. And I believe when his actual products come out, stuff like this, like a Bowman University card, not even, a pro uniform, a base card that's going to continue to get graded. People continue to open up these boxes. The supply continues to increase. So I just think overall his cards are way too hyped up. there's no meaningful products to actually invest in his cards. You know, he doesn't have a National Treasures card yet, doesn't have a Prism card yet, no Optic cards yet, no meaningful products that are going to hold long-term value. And so that's why I believe it's a good time to sell off his cards, wait for the hype to die down, and there might be a good buying opportunity for the long term if you believe in him, but I believe now is not the time to be going after a Topps Now card that is not going to have any long-term value, you know, regardless of who he becomes. Even a LeBron James card, like a Sports Illustrated card, is not going to go for that much, so I do believe it's a good time to sell him off. Now, next up, we're going to come up with somebody who I know is going to probably cause a lot of people in the comment section to be upset about me saying this, but I do believe that Zion Williamson is a good sell right now. Now, of course, Zion Williamson's cards have been incredibly hyped up. You know, of course, Zion has been that rookie who has had so much hype and has yet to really back it up. And I believe him entering his, you know, 4th or 5th season, we're going to really start to see, you know, a make or break time for Zion's market. Of course, his card prices are a lot cheaper than they were before, so I would say there's less risk than if you were to buy in like 2019, but on the same token, he's on the Pelicans, not a very hyped up team, not a very exciting team anymore. And at the same time, you know, if Zion doesn't end up panning out, or if he doesn't end up taking that leap, if he has one more injury, I feel like we are one injury away from an absolute crash in his card market. You know, some of his cards are still pretty expensive. If you look at his National Treasures, they're still holding up at, you know, pretty expensive numbers. You know, BGS 9.5 is still, you know, of course, this was a $600,000 card. In today's market, it's probably around a $40,000 to $50,000 card. But I just simply think one injury and his cards are going absolute flat. So that is why I think the risk is a little bit too high for me to be invested in Zion. So I would personally be selling off. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into the next pick, and that is going to be Jordan Poole. I know Jordan Poole is kind of one of those guys where a lot of people are still really hot on him, really high on him, think they could have, you know, a future star in Jordan Poole. And while I agree that, you know, Jordan Poole's overall upside is very, very big, I personally am very skeptical of Jordan Poole joining, you know, the Wizards. I just think the Wizards are going to have absolutely no attention on them. I believe not many people are going to be watching the Wizards. I believe his numbers are going to be good. He's going to be putting up, you know, 20, 25, maybe even 28, 29 points per game, but at the same time, he's on the Wizards, and I believe he's going to kind of be looked at a guy similar to like Bradley Beal was when he was on the Wizards. He put up numbers, but nobody really cared about his cards because there was not that much attention on the Wizards. So I believe Jordan Poole kind of falls in that same category where, you know, he's an amazing player. He has a lot of talent for the future, but I believe with him being on the Wizards as opposed to the Warriors with one of the largest fan bases getting hyped up, now he's on the Wizards in Washington, where hardly any national TV games. I just think overall Jordan Poole is going to have a big sell-off if he doesn't perform. He's going to be really forgotten about, and his prices are going to really come back down to earth. So I do believe it's a good time to sell off Jordan Poole, get out of that risk, and kind of see what else there is. But I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe. And once again, for the giveaway, subscribe, like this video, comment the word done, and follow me on Instagram. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.